Hi beautiful people, welcome back. Hope everybody is doing fantastic wherever you are in the world. You guys, as you can see, I am in a different location. I'm sitting in my husband's truck, actually waiting for him to be done at a doctor's appointment, so I apologize for the change of scenery. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload. Also, please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. So once again, you guys, we're going to be discussing Katie Joy. Katie Joy seems to be totally unhinged. For the mere fact is that she did her legal update video Sunday night, which I was getting so many messages to watch, and you guys, it was so gruesome to watch it. I'm going to get into that. Also, she has been on a manic spree in regard to going off on people, and especially Ellie from Truth Sleuth. She has been going all in on her, but we're going to get into all that. This is the main issue that I feel is going on, and it's just my opinion about all this, is the fact that we all seem to be, not we all, but people that cover KJ, and it's clear now that we are all being put in this group called the anti-KJ community, which she refers to us as, and you know what it is. I know what I'm doing. I'm good with what I'm doing, and some people are taking it a bit too far, but you know what, I'm not here to judge. As long as they can do, feel good about themselves, or they're happy with what they're doing, all well and good. I'm just here to call her out on her bullshit. But a thing that I have noticed with KJ stands is that things are getting so out of hand for them. I was listening to BACKWOODS BARBI the other day, and she did a fantastic video. I'm going to link both of her videos down below, especially the one that I'm talking about in regard to the nasty messages that she's been getting. And she has, compared to me, a huge following. So at the end of the day, I can handle myself. You know, I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am, but it's just totally unnecessary. And there is a method to KJ's madness. Example, Llama Girl. She's always putting on a Twitter, like if nobody catches KJ's lives on Instagram, she posts clips on there. So the other day, KJ actually falsely accused her of contacting one of her sponsors. Llama Girl posted this on her Twitter account. Another wonderful thing to see today: KJ, you will always be found out. As soon as someone starts researching who and what you are, they want nothing to do with you. It's all your own fault. If I was a sponsor and saw your live just from last night, I would want nothing to do with you. And she actually linked a screenshot from the Reddit of WOACB, and at the bottom you will see somebody says, and it is extra funny because @Scentbird will sponsor anyone, even problematic people. They must really dislike what they discovered about her. Maybe I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing, but I did not see Llama Girl tag Scentbird. This other person that responded to that actually tagged Scentbird. So in turn, KJ put Llama Girl on blast, and this is what she put on her Twitter. She says, Llama Girl / Ellie, a known toxic and allegedly abusive troll, really, has been harassing me for 2 years. Another one that's been harassing her for 2 years. She has contacted my sponsors, harassed them into dropping me over false claims of abuse of children. She was an active member of a hate Facebook group. She's a member of the cult. Whoever is reporting on KJ or calling KJ out on her bullshit, we all parts of the cult. I want to insert the screenshot here. And this was on Katie Joy's live on Sunday, okay? And bear in mind, these are her members only. So for this person that wants to name all these people and say how gross we are, for number one, can you at least, if you want to reference me, can you at least get my name right? Or maybe I'm just being over enthusiastic and thinking that is me. Maybe there is Renelle, but I don't think so. So next time you reference me, at least just try get my name right. That's all I'm asking. Now back to Llama. She was getting so much hatred, so much, which is totally unfair. You guys saw the screenshot. Now this is what KJ tends to do. She'll put something out there, and knowing her psychotic stance, will go after all these people, okay? But then listen to what she said on that same night. This is what she said in an Instagram live.
No, Scentbird did not pull out. I actually just sent my invoice to get paid. So, nice try.
Now, let's talk about her legal update. Whole show, whatever she did. She was all about what she had to go through, how she had to be a sleuth, how she had to do things herself, fish things out from people and all that shit, how scared she is for her life. She can't go here, she can't go there. If this is true, if all this did unfold, 100% these people need to be held accountable. 100%. But in my opinion, like we just saw, she's claiming that Llama has been harassing her for 2 years. So what? In the next 2 years, is this going to be a recurring thing? Keep all this trauma for another 2 years, and then when something else comes up 2 years down the line, Llama is going to be the excuse that she's been stalking her, harassing her, all that BS. I don't know, because it seems to be a pattern with KJ. She said that her trauma is not tea, but she's monetizing her trauma. She's looking for pity, she's looking for sympathy, she's looking for people to be on her side. One thing you cannot do is force people to like you. It's either a person likes you or a person doesn't like you. It's one of the two. You can't force people to like you, okay? And in regard to her, she can't even keep to her own script, because she said she named all these people A, B, C, D, and I don't know however many, because to me that just sounded like she was talking about the cup of noodle soup with the alphabet in it. That's just how it was for me, because she ended up naming who A was, and she named her as Nat. So I don't know, there must be just something drastically wrong with me. Then the weirdest thing is that she comes up with, oh, there's all this noise that's going on with this reality star that's suing her. It is what it is. If anything happens, she's going to deal with it. She's got a letter from him. She's going to do everything that she can to cooperate and all that kind of shit. But who wants to guess with me here, right? Every time KJ comes into a situation like this, and who wants to guess with me that she is going to give Lindsay up in a heartbeat? In a heartbeat. Because clearly KJ still does not get it. She hasn't learned from Tati's lawsuit. She doesn't listen to her attorney, in my opinion. She just goes off the rails. She'll do whatever she needs to do to make that dollar. She just does not get it. And how can you feel so bad? And this is another thing that also made me so agitated. She said she doesn't feel welcome anywhere. She doesn't feel welcome on anybody's platform. But let me remind you of one thing. Do you remember she went on Kay Baxter's live? Kay Baxter was nothing but gracious to her, respectful to her. Kay put everybody in check, even if they were going out of whatever the scope of discussion was. She tried her best, but she never let anybody disrespect KJ, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, I apologize if I am, but for KJ to say she doesn't feel or accepted or respected in anybody's lives. What the fuck was that then? What was that? So KJ was, woe is me, this is what I went through, feel bad for me, pity me, come to my side, take my side, all that fucking shit. And in my opinion, she needed scapegoats. So she went and she was talking about LB and Sleuth, Ellie. So later on, I checked Twitter. LB came and she quickly shut Katie down, in my opinion, because she was like, she can go on, she can say whatever she wants to say. I've got screenshots. I can send this to my lawyer and everything will be taken care of. But she hasn't stopped with Ellie from Sleuth. But I'm going to get into that. I'm not taking anybody's side. I'm just talking about what I see. Okay? Now tell me something. Who keeps screenshots and messages for so long and with intent of, oh, I'm going to need this in the future? Which is totally shocking to me. Because this woman went and read all or a majority of everything that LB had sent to her or said to her. And another thing, why is your husband coming on your channel and adding his 2 cents? Why? Moral support is offline. Take the time for your family, Katie. Take the time. So anyway, she has been on a mission with Ellie. And she has been going off all day yesterday in regard to Ellie. You know what? I'm not here to fight anybody's battles. But at the end of the day, all I'm going to say is, Katie Joy, why are you bringing up other people's drama? You have drama with the same creators that you're throwing in Ellie's face. Are you normal? But anyway, this is the one that truly shocked me. It's like, can you talk about yourself? And it says, Ellie blames me for everything she is. She's deflecting and desperate to make me a scapegoat. She got cancelled for lying, shit talking, doxing, threatening creators, going off on subs and falsely accusing someone of being a pedo. Ellie, your redemption arc isn't blaming me for your shit. Now hold up. Let me play a clip for you where Katie, just the other day, called somebody a pedo.
And what is Josh Duggar? He's a pedophile.
Now once again, you guys, I know Joshua Duggar has all these charges he's facing. I get that. But has he been charged with anything yet? Isn't it innocence until proven guilty? So for her to call this man a pedo, and you want to know why she's always in so many lawsuits? Amazing. Now let's move on to children. Oh, and you guys, how could we forget about Sophie Long? Remember how she sat on her high chair or recliner, whatever you want to call it, and repeated what somebody said about Sophie Long, how Sophie Long is a brat. Then still went on Kay Baxter's live and doubled down on how Sophie Long is a brat because she knows how, because her son throws tantrums, so automatically Sophie Long is a brat because she feels she was throwing a tantrum. I've never come across a person that doesn't give their kid as much or credit that they deserve. This woman has been on and said how her son could be manipulated into killing someone. I just played a clip in my previous video about how she truly feels, which made me fucking sick to my stomach. And how she calls the Duggar kids crotch goblins. What the fuck? Listen very carefully to this next clip. You will be shocked.
I'm going to try to change things up here. I've been spending a little bit of time like in the mornings with my son, but I think we're going to switch it up and do where I get up and just get to work like I was going to go into an office, and then I'll try to get content out a little bit earlier.
So you guys heard it for yourself. She said she spends a little bit of time in the mornings with her son. So she's choosing to spend no time with her son. The little bit of time that she does spend with the son, she's choosing to eliminate that just so she can get content out early because it's better for the algorithm. So is this not choosing money over your child? Wow. Katie Joy says, weaponizing my son against me by posting a photo of him with me to prove your point that I'm so unhappy in my life because you found a photo of my child from years ago, which is not yours to share. Says more about you than me. Stop using my child in your sick games. Katie, you were a blogger. You have your son. If you Google your name, you will find pictures of your son. People, in my opinion, have never come out, not that I've seen in the sphere that I'm in, have seen people come against your son. If they have, shame on them. Shame on them. But for the most part, people actually are rooting for your son. They have been nothing but respectful for your son. You're the one that whenever you need pity or you need to be lifted up, what do, Katie? You talk about your son, which you know is going to grab the heartstrings of people. Okay? But then when it suits you, you want to shut things down. It doesn't work that way, because look at what you do with the Duggar grandkids. Okay? You take their pictures from wherever and you post it all over your fucking Instagram. It's not yours to use, Katie. You just did yesterday or day before yesterday, you did 2 videos talking about Anna Duggar's parenting. I suggest you look in the mirror first, Katie, because in my humble opinion, you should be the last to talk. And the reason I say this, when you did your legal update the other day on your channel, you were talking about how people reported you to CPS because of a video that you said people have enhanced. I saw the video that's not enhanced, and your husband was in that room with your son for 10 hours. He complained he's been in that room for 10 hours. What did you do? You still sat on your live. You didn't switch your live off. You told him to be quiet. You come and you follow that up with, you said that people were saying Todd ABUSED'd him. But you said what happened was that he said, don't hit me. But previous stories were, he was having a meltdown. Todd was in the room with the dog for 10 hours. What else did you say? There were like 4 different excuses you used for what happened in that situation, okay? You were on an Instagram live where your son is screaming at you, Katie, because of how loud you were. You telling the screen to be quiet. And then you go shut the door. There's so many instances, Katie, that you can't seem to realize why people talk about your parenting, Katie. You need to reflect on all this. You need to check yourself, Katie. Because at the end of the day, for people like me, it's what we see, what you put out there, Katie. You were sitting in a hospital where your son had a headache for 3 days. While he was being checked out, you were sitting on your fucking Twitter, having a Twitter war with Gabby Hanna. Okay? So when you want to talk about kids and you want to talk about somebody else as parenting, look at what you did with Anna Duggar's kids. You put a photo on your fucking Instagram trying to figure out where he's at, or he may be in a certain place. How is that your place, Katie? How? All the other girls, the Duggar girls as kids, you post on your Instagram, you talk about your parenting. You say that nobody must call CPS. With your stands that come after us, just talking about you, Can you imagine what they do to those Duggar kids that's raising their kids, Katie? You know what you're doing, in my opinion. You know full well. You want to talk about Anna choosing her husband over her kids. Have you ever thought Anna is pregnant, Anna's having a new baby, that she just needed a break? And her family decided to step in and help her. That's what family does, Katie. But in your mind, you need to create the fucking drama. Josh is a piece of shit, don't get me wrong. But for you to be like this towards Anna, you want to say, oh, how's a baby going to bed without its mother? I've been there, Katie. I had a friend whose baby I used to take for like 2 weeks at a time, from months old. And it all worked out fine, Katie. Now let me tell you something. This is what I think. This is just my opinion. At this point, Katie is back to square one. Where Katie, her back is against the wall. She needs somebody to lash out at. And unfortunately, that person right now is Allie. Because she got nobody else to go to. She wants to stay relevant. Allie has quite a huge following. But why isn't somebody bigger coming towards her or coming at her? You know why? Because she's not relevant. People aren't feeling bad for her. Why are people going behind the scenes to comfort her? Because they know how problematic she is. She's just not that relevant, and she's trying her best to be relevant. Because I'm going to play a clip for you at the end of this video so you can hear for yourself how serious Todd Chrisley is about this. Katie, you fucked with the wrong one this time, Katie. You messed with this man's family. His family is everything to him, Katie. When is it going to register in your mind, Katie? You are the breadwinner of that family. What you do puts food on their table. What you do pays the bills for that roof over your head. This is no time for you to be sloppy. This is no time for you to have an ego. It's not the time, Katie. But this is just a little bit of advice, okay? Since seeing you're going through all this, you don't feel safe. This is just not working the way it should. Maybe you should give your husband's manhood back. Let him be the man of the house. Let him provide for the family. Let him go work out so your family can be safe, can be out of harm's way. Give him his testicles back to do what he needs to do. So you guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and you have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, stick around for what Todd Chrisley had to say in his podcast that was done on Wednesday, and that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload. And until the next time, bye guys.
Katie Joy, who is this wannabe uneducated blogger, who has, I've now understood, has been sued multiple times. And she has posted on her, I guess, social media channel or Twitter or whatever, that she is best friends with my daughter, Lindsay. And that she has spoken with Lindsay, you know, and they've had this great relationship. Well, it's ironic that Katie Joy is the one who was writing all of these lies about the Chrisley family. And now she goes on her page or whatever this little thing is that she has, I think with 5,000 or 6,000 followers, whatever it is. And she goes on there and she talks about that she's basically best friends with Lindsay. And so now we're subpoenaing these phone records so that we can match up the phone numbers and the timing of the stories that were released to her so-called interactions with Lindsay. Now, folks, at the end of the day, the truth, we already know what it is because we're sitting on the messages that we have that are have been screenshotted. And Katie, you know about these messages. You know about these messages, Katie. Katie Joey, you know about the messages because you provided these messages to multiple people. So my advice would be that if you're claiming to be Lindsay's best friend and Lindsay's not responding to your statements of you being her best friend, then that means Lindsay's probably aware of the context of the messages that we have that were between the two of you and the conversations that you've had. But regardless, you're going to get your opportunity because we are filing suit against Katie Joey. Now, I want to clear up what I'm seeing on Twitter. A lot of people are saying I don't see it filed in the state where Katie Joey resides because that's where Katie Joey made these slanderous statements. We are fully aware of how this lawsuit needs to be filed, and it is going to be filed correctly. We sent out a spoliation notice to Katie Joey. Her attorney has already responded stating that his client would like to cooperate to the best of her ability and would be saving all communications and would not be destroying anything, and any channels that she has closed down, she still has access to the content, and that they would be more than willing to try to work this out with us. The only way this is going to be worked out, Katie Joey, is you are going to do a retraction of the lies that you have told. You're going to identify your source of the lies that you've told. Katie Joy doesn't have anything worth us going after. There is no money there. There are no assets. So when Katie Joy talks about he's not going to come for me, understand this, Katie Joy. First of all, you're a psycho narcissist. I'm coming for you, darling. That, one thing's for certain and two things are for sure. You can fucking count on Todd Christopher coming for you. And I'm coming for you.